And news just coming in, UN chief was at the Doha Forum 2023 and he spoke about the situation in Gaza at the moment. And we are now being joined by WION's correspondent, Anas Malik, to know more about the UN chief's statement.
Well, indeed, Rahisha, the Doha Forum is currently underway, and the UN Secretary General spoke at the opening session. Before that, it was the Qatari Prime Minister who was speaking, and he emphasized on the dire need of talks on reshaping the global order based on equality and honesty without any doublespeak. That is what the focus was on the part of the Qatari side. But then came the United Nations Secretary General, who minced no words in admitting the failure of the United Nations Security Council. He said that and I quote, that the premier institution, which is the United Nations Security Council, is paralyzed due to huge strategic compositions. He said that from Ukraine to Gaza, the issues remain unaddressed, and it's been a month from 1 month to the Gaza bombing. A resolution was passed at the United Nations Security Council that is yet to be implemented, that gravely undermines the authority and credibility of the organization. Towards the end, he said that he will not give up, and that the United Nations Security Council is important, that he expects for the humanitarian ceasefire to be implemented and to be agreed upon. But as I said, the focus was that how the UNSC has failed. At the same time, he emphasized and urged forums and groups like these and decision makers, the who's who over here, the movers and shakers, to get to a consensus towards the Israel-Gaza conflict and to reach a solution or a consensus on the matter of the ceasefire. That's what his emphasis has been. Now, while the Doha Forum is currently underway here in Doha in Qatar, and behind me is the hall where the main sessions are ongoing, the focus this year around, the theme, while it talks about sustainable development, climate change, but what will be dominating the discussion is, of course, the Israel-Hamas conflict. And the fact that how Qatar has been coming at the forefront, trying to mediate, but nothing has been working out for now. But with the hope that something in the next 2 days can work out, for the very reason that the American interlocutors are also here. With the breakdown in talks and Israeli side going on with their ground offensives, there will be a lot of pressure, at least exerted from here, to go for a ceasefire. Rahisha?
Right, Anas, now the latest statement by the UN chief also comes a day after the UNSC resolution on immediate humanitarian ceasefire, which failed to pass. It's been almost 3 months since the war has been going on, and the resolution which was passed, but it has not been implemented yet. Do you think it is undermining the authority and credibility of the Council at the moment?
It certainly is undermining the Council's credibility. In the opening as well, it was critiqued that 5 countries hold the fate of the rest 188 in the world, and as a reason that one such country has been a roadblock in achieving a consensus, a broader consensus vis-a-vis the ceasefire. That's what has been echoing in this room. That's right behind me. But the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, while speaking as well, as I said, he admitted the failure, and I quote, "We were looking at the humanitarian ceasefire to be declared. Regrettably, the UNSC, the United Nations Security Council, couldn't do that, but it does not mean that it's important and that I promise I will not give up." He was saying that in the context of the letter that he wrote and the veto that we saw just coming in about 48 hours ago from the US side. So this particular statement from the UNSC, the Secretary General, from this forum while being in Doha has a lot of connotations, politically speaking as well, and vis-a-vis the optics. But then his reiteration of the fact that he will continue to push for a ceasefire and try to utilize whatever resources he has in his capacity as the United Nations Secretary General, that gives that glimmer of hope to the broader region for a negotiated settlement or for a humanitarian pause or a ceasefire in the longer run. Rahisha?
Yes, and us also shed some light on how are the other stakeholders looking at the ongoing Israel-Hamas war.
Well, in a short while from now, we'd be seeing the Palestinian Prime Minister and the Jordanian Prime Minister walk into this hall. That's right behind me, and they will be speaking as well. So what they'll be talking about will quite be significant, because both are stakeholders. In fact, Jordan is an immediate neighbor of Israel and the Palestinian side. So it has had a public position, and what they have to say will, of course, be of real importance going forward. Rahesha?
Right, Anas, we'll be closely tracking the forum there in Doha, but thanks very much for joining us here on WION at the moment.